Yeah, so this is the final part. Okay. This should be part 4, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe part 5, but I'm going to be really quick here in regards to the finishing up of the cruel Lord, the tyrant, and then how the Lord's going to navigate with the elect, okay, by way of the spirit of prophecy through this multiple crises, the final finishing up of the work, okay. So I'm going to read Wisdom of Solomon 12, and I'm going to read to 14, and I'm going to jump right down to the 22nd verse, straight to the point, right, just to finish up on this video, right. It says, "For who shall say, what hast thou done, and who shall withstand thy judgment? Or who shall accuse thee for the nations that perish, whom thou made? Or who shall come to stand against thee to be revenged for the unrighteous men?" Okay, and it goes on to say, "For neither is there any power, okay, but thou that causest for all to whom thou mightest show that thy judgment is not upright." Yeah, who's going to show that, right? So this guy character and the rest of these nations, man, they think that they don't understand that they're being ruled as puppets. The Lord has you like a puppet, right? The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, man. Everything that you do is dictated by the Lord. You don't have you only have a will to choose good or evil, and when you choose it, the Lord still corrects it anyway. Okay, and there's nothing you can do to actually control what you're doing. Okay, verse 14, Sirach 12 and verse 14, it says, neither shall king or tyrant be able to set his face against thee for any whom thou hast punished." So simply put, right, even Israel, simply put, right, because this here is twofold, but we're showing you a tyrant. That's why I went to this verse actually to make the point. Okay, a tyrant or a king, right, whether it be within or without, man, you can't stop the Lord. This is the Lord's movie. He's the director. He's the extra. He's doing everything, man. We're just a micro chimerism, or micro. Okay, you can look up that micro chimerism, but we're just a micro speck, and he's the macro. Just for you to understand. All right. So I'm gonna jump right in closing here. I'm gonna jump to this part. Right, and I think I'm going to read from 21. It says, with how great circumspection didn't thou judge thine own sons, you see, unto whose fathers thou hast sworn, okay, and made covenants of good promises. Yes, of course the Lord has judged us, and this is why I said this is who I serve, right? You know, I read for you folks in Sirach 18:1-3. Okay, that's who we serve. That's who I serve. All right. Verse 22, Wisdom 12 and 22. It says, Therefore, whereas thou hast thus chastened us, you see, thou scourge our enemies, you see. So yeah, scourging is coming to you guys, man. No doubt about it. You got to pay. Payback is a bitch for what you've done to us. Okay, right? And when we go off, you see what the Lord has done to us, right? Just to keep us safe, man. Scourge your enemy 1,000 times more. 1,000 times more. Okay, 1,000 times more, to the intent that when we judge, we should carefully think of thy goodness. See? And this is the time, man. So when the mark of the beast is urged, man, when that mark is given, there's no time. That means the ministry would be officially finished. The censor would have been thrown down, man. It's done, right? But right now, there might be some opportunity And what I mean by that might be some opportunity is because the Lord has already sealed the elect and He has already sealed the wicked, but it's playing out. So that's what I'm saying. So we don't know, right? But we're watching our when I say we don't know, right? And that's why it says, and when we ourselves are judged, we should look for mercy. That's the point I'm trying to bring out. Okay, the scripture says it better than how I could say it. Okay, so that's that time right now. But when the mark is urged, it's over. Okay, when that law, okay, when you hear the sound of the flute, the harp, the sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, right? It's over. It's over for you goyams, man. And the elect is going to rejoice. Okay, 2 more verses. Wherefore, whereas men have lived dissolutely and unrighteously, okay, thou hast tormented them with their own abominations. All right, okay, just that's a big word there. Abominations. There's the abomination of desolation in the form of the army, right? But abominations itself goes into the nuclear missiles, the plagues, all of those things. Jacob's great time of trouble, that ties into Esau's end time of trouble. Okay, all right, yeah. So that's where I'm going to leave it. You guys should read the rest of this chapter and be encouraged. The elect is going to be encouraged, no doubt about it. All right. So I'm going to stop right there. Lord willing, this lessons and these lesson segments will be edifying. Okay. Okay, so that's the Lord's duty. He's going to do what He has to do to make it right for those who have received Him. All right, so with that, I'm going to say Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Shem Yoshai. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders who rule and teach well in spirit and in truth, and to the men and women that cry and sigh for the abominations that are done within the midst and without. All right, so with that, I'm going to say Shalom.